Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over Worth It guides. Let us begin. Okay, so recently Worth It guides has been neglected ever since the end of Shadowlands. This is because I've been working on a little bit of a rebuild towards Worth It guides. If we actually go over to Worth It guides right now, I actually have rebuilt a lot of it. And it may not look like an awful lot, however, it all stays into one panel. I didn't like how Worth It guides just opened up a ton of different types of panels, and then if you spammed the button, it would just spam more. I've resolved this, and with the help of 𝐆𝐀𝐌𝐄, I've actually reconfigured the UI to be a bit more easier for you guys. However, I have worked on a few things, so like guides in general when it comes towards like alchemy and all that stuff. Obviously a load of guides are not in at this moment in time, but I want to just show you my progress. When it comes towards Dragonflight, this would be a Dragonflight alchemy guide. This is the bare bones basic thing that I could whip up very quickly as a demonstration towards how Worth It guides will be presented. If you're wanting to level it, then you could go into professions, alchemy, Dragonflight, and then you can click the material list of all the materials you'll need to level, and in a descending order what type of items to craft in order to get max on your level. This along goes with all the other different types of things that I like. You can readjust the size and everything, so you can then use it as a scroll way in how you would actually like it to be presented. But along with that, I'm currently just rebuilding and putting all of the information that we had originally back in, along with adding all of the Dragonflight stuff, which then occurred to me that I want all of the gold making stuff in. So when it comes towards just in general gold making terms for all of us gold makers, as this is obviously a gold making channel, we tend to look for guides online and all that stuff, so why not actually put the guides back in? Now, I do have this primary one as an example from the original Worth It guides. It's very blocky with text. However, I can now add images into this add-on as well. We actually worked in how to add images, waypoints, all of this stuff, and just make sure that loads of stuff can actually be placed into the actual add-on. So the thought occurred to me the other day, and this is why recently you've actually seen a load more videos be produced at arguably a lower quality, though I'm trying to document every single gold farm that I possibly can. This is so I can then write them up and then add them into Worth It guides, so you guys can actually have an in-game guide and then look through all of the different types of guides that you're actually wanting to farm up. So say for instance the mechanical chicken battle pet that has 3 different steps in order to do, well technically 4 if you are classifying the turn-ins as a 4th step, but that's not the point. The point in general is to walk you through how to do different types of gold farms in game with an add-on. It's really that simple, and thus this is why I've been documenting loads of different types of farms, so then we have like a mass amount of different types of guides for gold making in general. Specifically, all of the other things like mounts, reputations, professions and all that stuff will come in time, and I intend to expand this over time, but I wanted it so you could actually have in-game guides in the actual game, so you can pick a farm and go do it, and we can then build up a massive library of gold farms that are just out there with the image of where to farm it, where's the waypoint, what you actually need to do in order to obtain said things, and thus. I just wanted to give you guys just a bit more of an insight on how this is all working, and how where a lot of my time has actually been recently. And thus I figured that with the new content way on how I'm presenting things right now is a lot more of a faster and more efficient way in order to document this, and then I can document it into Worth It guides, so then you guys can have in-game guides, so you could watch the video and then you've got the guide in the actual add-on to walk you through it as well as all of that. So it just works out very nicely. Now currently we're in the early stages of putting all the information back in, and thus I am looking basically for, well, any form of help in general. I'm currently making all the guides. I'm going to continue making all of these little guides and then just shoving them into the add-on, as well as adding all of the old content for farming the mounts, the gold making, blah, 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 all the other stuff, and then just adding that back in. And so if anyone needs any gold farms that actually need to be placed into these or would be helpful for other gold makers, other gold farmers, then please feel free to message me or write up a guide or something. And thus I can actually either write up the guide myself or add your guide in. And if I add your guide in, then that means that I will definitely accredit you to that particular guide as you technically wrote it and I just merely placed it into the add-on. I thought this would be a nice community thing, and it would actually build out a nice portfolio for everyone to have an in-game guide system towards gold making in general, as typically, I'm not the best crafter. Let's just say that, for instance. When it comes to farming, my farming knowledge for gold farming is quite high. I've got a lot of experience with gold farming. But when it comes towards crafting, I don't know an awful lot. I know the bare minimum in how to make gold. I can min-max using alchemy and transmutations. But all of the other different types of things, I'm quite a novice when it comes to all of that. So it'd be nice to actually build that out with all of the other different types of things to do with gold making, say for flipping. I know I used to talk to Lucia on my actual Discord. She's very good at gold making with flipping. Me? Ha, I'm not gonna bother. I'll stick to my farming, thank you very much. But that, for instance, her guide was very helpful when it actually got me into flipping in general. So I'm just compiling all of the different types of guides that anyone submits, or ones that I can actually write up myself and then place into the add-on. Along with that, I do have one little thing, and that is if you have an error when it comes towards the add-on, this was a little thank you to Callan for helping me, and this is a forced error, by the way. It'll actually come up with an image. If a guide doesn't actually load, it will come up with a couple of murlocs in a PNG. Something went wrong. A team of highly trained murlocs have been dispatched to deal with the situation. So if there is any issues with a guide, it won't throw you an error message in your box. It will just give you this error message. And we just thought that would be funny. Other than that, guys, head over towards the Discord for any additional information. Other than that, have a wonderful rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be soon.